World War II was between two great camps in this kind of arrangement, where I can say it was a devastating war that befell the world during the period between 1939 and 1945. It broke out on 3rd September 1939 following the German invasion of Poland. So we believe by this time, in this kind of arrangement, the war broke out on 3rd September. In this kind of arrangement, when Hitler attacked Poland, this annoyed the great powers. These were the Allied powers. What they did, they joined hands together to fight against Adolf Hitler. Mind you, Hitler had the support of Italy and Japan. And by this time, Hitler was supported by Italy and Japan. Then Britain by France and Russia. And of course later, USA. But our discussion today, what were the causes of World War II? Number one, the Versailles Peace Treaty of 1919. The diplomats at Versailles made a strategic mistake. When it came to disarming, they disarmed only one country called what? Germany. I can say disarming was very good because it was going to prevent the war. But instead of disarming all countries, they disarmed only one country called what? Germany. It is this that made the Germans to form the Axis powers camp to challenge the Allied powers because they were not happy with the Versailles Peace Treaty of 1919. Then the War Guilty Clause, which was brought by the Versailles Peace Treaty of 1919. The War Guilty Clause blamed only one country called what? German for causing the war. So that's why we are saying the unfairness of the Versailles Peace Treaty of 1919 annoyed the Germans. They had to come together with Italy and Japan to fight against Britain and France. And finally, this caused World War II. So the treaty, which was meant to end the war, instead later caused the what? The war. Then the effects of World War I. We believe by this time, in World War I, Germany was defeated. As the Germans were defeated, they could not accept to be defeated. That's why when Adolf Hitler took political power, for him he had to rise up again with the friends like Benito Mussolini of Italy, because they could not accept that defeat. That's why we are saying the effects of World War I finally caused the World War II, because the Germans could not accept just to be defeated just like that. They had to revenge, and in this case, this caused World War II. In a bid to revenge, they caused World War II, because as they formed the Axis powers camp, the other powers formed the Allied powers camp. The question is, were these camps created to act as football teams? Of course, no. They had a reason. And by this time, this caused the World War II. I will emphasize our customer Farouk of Uganda's idea. Believe that you can in whatever circumstance. Believe that you do what? You can. Another one, as we are analyzing the causes of World War II, we are saying the rise of dictators in Europe. The rise of dictators in Europe and Asia. It is said Europe got dictators like who? Adolf Hitler and Mussolini. So the rise of dictators, this was their mission was not only to control their countries, but they wanted even to control other countries. That's why Hitler was very aggressive. So the rise of dictators. I can tell you today that dictators, their mission was not only to control only their country, but they wanted to extend their influence beyond their boundaries. So the rise of dictators in Europe led to the emergence of the Axis powers camp, which Axis powers camp threatened Britain. Britain had to form the Allied powers camp to challenge the Axis powers camp, and this finally caused World War II. So the rise of dictators in Europe, who had a mission of controlling so many countries, finally caused World War II. Then the renewal of the alliance system. We believe by this time, you remember alliance system caused World War I. So it was renewed because Hitler formed the Axis powers camp and Britain formed the Allied powers camp. So the renewal of the alliance system caused World War II. Where I can say, when it was renewed, it meant that these camps had to fight against one another. So the renewal of the alliance system. The question is, the alliance system which was renewed, was it supposed to be just like that? Of course they had a mission. The mission was about fighting. That's why they had to fight. Another one, the ideological conflicts in Europe, where I can say the Axis powers were so much supporting dictatorship. Then Britain was so much supporting democracy. And by this time, the differences in ideology finally caused World War II. Because the Democrats, headed by Britain, could not accept Hitler with his dictatorship to rise up in Europe. That's why they joined hands together to fight against Adolf Hitler. Another one, nationalism. We believe by this time, nationalism caused World War II. Nationalism is love for one's country. I can say it was nationalism or love for one's country that made the Germans to join hands together and form Axis powers camp, because their game was they wanted to bring back the greatness of a country called what? German. So nationalism, love for one's country, caused World War II. Where I can say the Germans loved their country. That's why they had to support Adolf Hitler to form the Axis powers camp. And this finally caused World War II. Then another issue, the rearmament of Europe. It is said, you remember arms race caused World War I. So there was what you call rearmament of Europe. European countries rearmed themselves. For example, Germany started producing so many dangerous military equipment. The question is, were the military equipment going to be used as decorations on a wedding day? Of course, no. They had a mission. The mission was about what? Fighting. So the rearmament of Europe, as Europe was rearmed, this led to World War II. Because time reached, every country had so many military equipment. So they wanted to fight against one another. Then the Spanish Civil War of 1936 to 39. The Spanish Civil War. The Spanish Civil War, 1936 to 39. The Spanish Civil War, 1936 to 39. To 39. What happened in Spain? The Spanish Civil War, 1936 to 39. In Spain, there was a man called General Franco. Franco staged a civil war and he succeeded. And he was supported by Hitler and Mussolini. Because Franco was supported by Hitler and Mussolini and he was successful, this made Hitler and Mussolini to believe that since we have supported Franco and we have succeeded, it means we can defeat other countries. Because by this time they were saying, as other countries were against the rise of General Franco, and we have supported Franco, we have succeeded. We can still defeat other what? Other countries. And that led to World War II. Then aggression. Aggression we mean. Aggression we mean in this kind of arrangement. Aggression we mean.